She was 26, quiet, disciplined, and invisible in the chaos of a corporate office. Every day was the same. Coffee before sunrise, reports before deadlines, a polite smile but hid exhaustion. And then there was her boss, Daniel. 40 years old, confident, graceful, and everything she could never be. A woman people admired and feared in equal measure. Their relationship had always been professional, just another employee and her superior, until the night Daniel invited her to her sister's wedding. It was supposed to be just a courtesy gesture, a thank you for helping with the office arrangements. But that night changed everything. For the first time, she wasn't wearing her dull office uniform. She wore a soft pastel dress, her hair loose, her eyes bright under warm lights. She looked like a stranger even to herself. And when Daniel saw her standing by the mirror, laughter and music swirling around them, something in her expression shifted, admiration mixed with silence. Their eyes met through the reflection, and the air around them stilled. "You look different today," Daniel had whispered. That one line rewrote everything between them. After that evening, nothing was the same. Daniel began treating her differently, small things at first. A smile that lingered too long, a compliment whispered in the middle of a meeting, her name spoken softly instead of Miss. Soon she was invited into private meetings, trusted with projects no one else was given, and eventually taken along on foreign business trips. It looked professional from the outside. But behind the glass walls and polite smiles, something unspoken was growing, slow, warm, dangerous. She could feel it in the way Daniel's hand brushed hers when passing a file, or how their eyes lingered just a little too long during a conference dinner. Then came that one trip abroad, the night that shouldn't have happened. After a long day of meetings, they shared dinner together. The air was quiet, filled with exhaustion and something deeper neither could name. One glass of wine became two, and soon Daniel began to talk about her failing marriage, her loneliness, how she felt unseen in her own home. The younger woman listened, comforted, and reached out to hold her hand. That touch, innocent at first, changed everything. It was as if time stopped. Two women, both broken in different ways, finding warmth where they shouldn't, but when morning came, silence replaced everything. They went back to pretending nothing had happened. Daniel avoided her eyes. Meetings were shorter, words more measured. Yet when the day ended, she found excuses to keep her close. They began meeting secretly, lunches away from the office, drives after work, messages late at night. Love bloomed quietly in the spaces between fear and guilt. The younger woman knew it was wrong, knew she was walking into something that could only end in pain. But she couldn't stop. "I wasn't her employee anymore," she said softly to herself. "I was her secret." Daniel promised she'd figure things out, that she'd talk to her husband, that they'd find a way. But weeks turned into months, and the promises stayed empty. Still, she stayed, caught between love and self-destruction, until the day the truth found them. It happened quietly, like all disasters do. Daniel's husband came to the office unexpectedly. He greeted people politely, but his eyes carried questions. When they met the younger woman's gaze, it felt like the world stopped breathing. Something in his stare said he knew, or at least suspected. That evening, Daniel didn't come out of her office. The next day, her tone was distant. The day after, her messages stopped. And soon, there was nothing. Calls went unanswered. Meetings canceled. The warm glances gone. When the younger woman finally entered Daniel's office one night to return a file, she found her sitting silently, staring at her phone. Daniel didn't even look up. "Please?" "Not now," she whispered. That's when the truth settled in. It was over. Rumors spread, as they always do. Whispers of a scandal, an affair, favoritism. Daniel, scared of losing her reputation in marriage, cut all ties. She had once said she couldn't stop thinking about her, but now she acted like she never existed. The young woman stayed a few more weeks, her heart breaking a little each day. Then one night, she wrote her resignation letter. She placed it on the desk where their story had silently begun, looked once at the dark office beyond the glass, and walked away. She never said goodbye. Neither did Danielle. Months passed. The world moved on, but she didn't, not at first. She moved to a smaller city, took a quieter job, and lived in an apartment where no one knew her name. Her life became ordinary again, but her heart carried ghosts. Some nights she still looked at Danielle's social media, photos of perfect smiles, professional success, a marriage that looked whole again. But behind those pictures, she could sense the emptiness. The same emptiness she carried to Dot. She didn't hate her. She couldn't. She just wished she had loved her differently. Love cost me my peace, she confessed once in her thoughts. It took my innocence, my sleep, and my ability to trust. Yet, with time, she began to heal, slowly, quietly, not by forgetting, but by learning to live with the memory. One evening, sitting on her small balcony with a cup of coffee, she looked at the sunset, the same shade of gold that once lit the wedding hall where it all began. She remembered Danielle's voice, soft, careful, unforgettable. "You look different today." A small smile touched her lips, because she did look different now, not just in appearance, but in spirit. She had loved, lost, and learned that some stories are meant not to last, but to transform you. Some people enter your life not to stay, but to show you what your heart is capable of, both the beauty and the pain. And as the city lights flickered below, she whispered softly into the wind, not to Danielle, not to herself, but to the memory of everything that once was. "You look different today." Then she smiled again, this time without breaking.
My dear viewers, if you want to watch the full video, the link is given in the description below. Go there and enjoy the complete story. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We promise to bring you the kind of entertainment you love, with every video carrying a meaningful lesson just for you.